The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
And TGIF to you too. Thank God it's Friday, another Friday, and we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, but we don't stop there because it's a global show called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be here for a whole full hour, and we thank you so much for being along with us. We've got a lot of things to talk about today, and we hope that you'll be able to be part of the show. There's so many things, events going on, and all kinds of things that, of course, you'll be part of the show, and you can talk about it as well. Now we're going to be here, as I said, for a whole full hour. And in the hour, we have nothing but conversation, a lot of fun, a little coffee, donuts, bagels, or whatever you're choosing. We want you to enjoy it with us right here as we get through the show. Now, those of you who have been around with us for a long time, we already thank you. We thank you each week, and we'll thank you again and again because that's what we do. We want to make sure that you know all about it, that you are part of the show, and we thank you for being part of us each week and being so loyal to the show by showing up each week. And we want to talk to the people who may be possibly new to the show. They're here for the very first time. And if you are, we welcome you because you're just as important as the people who've been around with us for so many years. Let me explain what the show is all about. As the host of the show, first of all, my name is Frank Allan. And as the host of the show, I get things started doing what I'm doing right now. I'm in the prep mode. So I may throw out a conversation and we can linger on it until you decide on what you want to talk about. And you can talk about. All you have to do is use the keys on your computer, such as your laptop, your desktop, maybe your cell phone or your tablet. Just type it in there. I will see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I will acknowledge it because you may have an opinion. And that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinion. You guys have a lot of them. We want to hear about it. If it's important to you, it's important to us. Now, if there's anything that you want to talk about in particular, doesn't have to be only in what I throw out, but in particular, of course, just type it in there and we'll talk about it too. Again, it's important to you. It's important to us. And when you come in, you'll notice you'll find other people here and you can talk to them as well as talk to me. So it's like we're one big family here of great people. And we invite you to tell your friends about it. Tell them again and again and again until they want to come out here and enjoy it. Now, here's what you can do. You're watching us right now, wherever platform you're watching us on, because we're on 3 different platforms. I didn't mention that, right? We're live on YouTube. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Now, what we want you to do is take the time to cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on right now. Your platform is no more than the link of where you are. So cut and paste that link and send it to many of your friends as possible. Send it out there to as many as possible. They'll see you right there and they'll be online. They'll know it's coming from you. And all they have to do is click onto that link and it brings them directly to us. Just as simple as that. There's no harm. And when they come out, maybe they'll like what they see. Maybe they'll like what they hear. And if they do, they'll come back again and again, because that's what it's all about. So we want you to tell everybody about it. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, if you haven't done it thus far, you should do it now. Subscribe. There's a little bar there where it says subscribe. Click onto that bar. Now, let me explain something. When I say subscribe, a lot of people talk about, something that's money. I don't want to subscribe. I don't have the money. Well, that's not what subscription means. It means that what subscription means is that when you subscribe, you're being part of whatever it is, an organization or publication. And this is a publication, but it's a free publication. You don't have to spend any money. So click onto that bar and right there, it's there and you're in full force. Now, the reason why we want you to do that, first of all, is we want to see how many people are following us. And sometimes on my phone, as I go through my travels, a notification will pop up, say so and so subscribe. And I am so happy about that. So if I can get as many people to subscribe, that would be great. And so if you do that, that would be great. So please subscribe to us right now and take the time. The other reason why we want you to subscribe, because now that you have subscribed and you're there with us each week, you get to know when we come on live, because sometimes you may forget about the show, right? You may be online doing something else, but you may forget about the show. And so that's the reason of subscription, because now you get an easy pop up. That's a reminder letting you know that the show just came on the air. Now, when we're not doing air work and you get a subscription pop up like that, that could be something that's going on. Maybe we're posting a video or maybe a still shot, whatever its activities is taking place, you can go and check it out. But for the main reason is that when we come on the air live, and it indicates that we're live, and just click onto it and it brings you right here, just like that. So that's what we got going. Now, with the show, of course, interacting with you like we always do, because we always like to address you personally. Now, a lot of people may not want to get involved in conversation, but we'll fix that up in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to tell you what we have in store for you in the show in conjunction with interacting with you. First of all, we have sports coming up. Brian Kemp is going to come along with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Now, Brian is not in the studio with me, but he's in his area, which is Charlotte, North Carolina. And in Charlotte, you'll get to see him on camera if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, that's not the same thing for Instagram, because we don't have that luxury of posting his video or his image on Instagram. Meta didn't come up with that idea yet, just yet. I hope that they would do that. But until that time, you'll get a chance to hear him. You won't see him, but you'll hear him, and you can ask all the questions you want. Now, when Brian comes on, if you have any sports related questions, please get them ready. And because when he comes on, he'll have the answers for you when you ask those questions. But in the meantime, Instagrammers, if you want to stay there, you'll hear him, but you won't see him. But for the rest of you, Brian will be out here and he'll come out with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We look forward to seeing him then. And he has a lot to talk about in sports. He was with us last night on Talkback Live. That's another thing that if you don't know about that show, we'll tell you more about that later. We have two shows, Talkback Live and today's show, the coffee hour each week. But we'll tell you about Talkback Live later on. Also, later on in the program, before the show is over, I have those movies. Now, each week, I go into the vault of Turner Classic Movies. That's what I do. And I pick up the best movies that I can find that I think is worth watching for you to put on your bucket list. Because now that the weekend is coming up, of course, you do a lot of things. And of course, here it's now September. Basically, vacation time is over for most people. They're sending their kids back to school. But if you have that luxury, working 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and having the entire weekend off, maybe you might want to consider whatever you do on the weekend. Part of that weekend will be picking up on some movies that you haven't seen in a while. So that's where I come in. And that's why I go to Turner Classic Movie each week to pick up those classic movies, the things that I think that you may like to watch. And I have about 4 of them this week. And I'll tell you about that later on in the program. Okay, remember that all the views and the expressions, the views and the opinions expressed on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast publication. So with that, let's do what we normally do. Let's lift our glasses and our cups and whatever that you have in there. I hope it's good, you know, with the coffee, tea, whatever. Excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, you don't necessarily have the coffee. It doesn't have to be coffee. Sometimes we call it the coffee hour because that's what it is, a coffee hour. But if you prefer tea or orange juice, milk, cocoa, whatever it is, your beverage is, just enjoy it with us on this Friday. I want to say hello to Mary Reed out of Brooklyn, New York. Mary is out there. She was with us last night on the Talkback Live show. So we want to say good morning to her. And we hope that you are having a wonderful morning so far. We are morning because that's what we are. Warren, thank you so much for being along with us. Good morning to you and to the rest of you out there. You guys out there on Instagram and the rest of you guys out there on Facebook. It's always a joy to have you along with us. And here we are. It's September. And where are we now? We're at the 12th day of September. Okay. And I was going to say the 12th day of Christmas. When you say the 12th day, you always think about Christmas sometime, Well, that's coming along. That's another show. That's another story. And we'll get to that when it comes. But anyway, it's the 12th of September. And we've got a lot of things to talk about. Now, we're going to be celebrating in a couple of days from now. And we're not going to tell you what it is. There's something to be celebrated. But since the day is not here yet, we're going to wait until next week to tell you what that celebration is. But it always takes place in the middle of the month of September. We'll tell you about that later on. But in the meantime, while we're not celebrating in the meantime, we're acknowledging a few things. And one of the things we want to acknowledge, first of all, is that we want to urge all of you to go out and get your vaccinations for your flu and your COVID-19. They do have the COVID-19 update. I found that out yesterday in my area, and I hope they do in your area as well. Yesterday, I went out to take my vaccination for the flu, and they asked me if I wanted to take COVID. And I said, oh, you do have COVID, because the last time I was here, you said it wasn't available, and now that it's available, they didn't have the COVID test that I really wanted. I usually like to take Pfizer, but all they have is Moderna, which is both. They're good. Maybe I'll go to another place where they have Pfizer, because I like you know how it is. You stick to one thing. It's like if you're a drinker, right? You don't want to drink Scotch, bourbon, and a wine in the same night, right? You want to stick to one thing, and that's the way I feel about my shots, my COVID shots. Nevertheless, it's there. And if I have to take Moderna, then I will. Nevertheless, it's there. It's available. I hope it's available to where you are, because I remember they were talking about it not being available. But we hope it is. Check for yourself. Go to your pharmacist and check it out for yourself and make sure that they do have it. But right now, I think the most important thing is to get the flu shot. Now, some people like to take their shots all together. They asked me just yesterday if I wanted to take the flu and the COVID together. I said, well, now that I know that the COVID is here, let me take the flu, and then maybe 2 weeks later, I'll come back and take the COVID. I'll take the flu today, COVID in about 2 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do. But they say it's safe to take both at the same time. If you prefer to do that, if you prefer to take the one vaccination at one time and then another one later, you can do that. That's the way I do it. Or you can take it all at once in one day. Get it out of the way if you want. It's safe. So again, I'm happy to report that COVID vaccination, the upgraded version, is out now, along with your flu shots. And this is a good time to take your flu shots. I always take it around this time. And it usually comes out at the tail end of August until the early part of September. But this is the part of the time that I take it. So I'm finished for the year for flu, and I got that. All I have to do is take COVID. But do yours. Now, some people have to go make an appointment. And this year, they spared us all of that. They said you could either walk in or make the appointment. It doesn't matter. Yesterday, I just walked right in, and it took care of me right away. So it's good to have that option. I'm not sure if they have the option like that in your area. If they do, that's good. Maybe you always had that option, which is good. And because it's good to have a variety of options. And so if you feel like you just want to walk right in, try your luck and see what happens and see what they tell you. But the most important is to take it. But if you have to make the appointment, be sure to keep the appointment. You don't want to take the appointment and then blow it and then wait for the next available appointment. You don't want to do that. So your shots are available. Do that. We also want to acknowledge Prostate Health Month. Now, those of you, and I'm talking to the men right now, only the men, you guys, if you're at the age of 45 and up, this is the time where you want to go and visit your urologist and make sure everything is good in that department. You want to check your PSA levels, make sure that they're preferably down to zero. That's where you want to be, down to zero when you're reading that PSA level. You know, if it's elevated, you want to make sure that urologist gives you the proper examinations on and the proper directions on where to go to lower your PSA because you want to avoid all of those things. You know, as the older you get, you know, you have to be more concerned about these things, right? So make sure that you take care of yourself. I always talk to men. I'm on a crusade, on a mission to make sure that men take care of themselves in that area for prostate examinations. Now, let me talk to the women. I'm not going to leave them out because it's their time too. All of this comes in at one time, and that's only fair. Gynecology, gynecologic cancer awareness month is upon us. So women, you know, make sure you see your gynecologist. And what is it like every year? Unless, of course, they want you to come in to see them earlier, but it's usually every year. I know it's every year for the men, unless your doctor says, I need you to come in earlier than 1 year because I want to make sure there's an issue going on. I want to make sure that it's okay. But it's usually 1 year. You will go back and check it out. So women, go out and check out your gynecologist, he or she, who's ever performing for you, and make sure you take care of yourself. Everything is good in that level. We also have National Blood Cancer Awareness Month. National Blood Cancer Awareness Month, which is something that always dear to my heart because I said it many times before. I lost a mom to multiple myeloma, which is a blood and bone cancer. And now it's tolerable. Not tolerable, but it is, you can deal with it better than it was before. It wasn't that way before, but now people are living through it and getting it together. As a matter of fact, most cancers now, people are living through it and trying to get it so they don't get to the highest stage. That's where you not want to go, to the highest stage. Also, it's National Sickle Cell Awareness Month. You know, those of you who are under that umbrella may want to check out your doctors. You want to check out your doctors for everything, you know, especially when you get older. Everything. You have a doctor. When you were younger, you had one doctor, right? And they give you the examination. They say, oh, you're okay. That's okay. But when you get a certain age, it's like you have a doctor for everything. You have an eye doctor, you have a gynecologist, you have a urologist, you have so many doctors you have to see, you know. And not to say it costs you a little more money to see them all anyway, but they're all specialists. But you know, good health is not. There's no price on good health, no price at all. So do that. And here's something too that could be health related too. National Suicide Prevention Month is what we have right now. Now, if you know anyone who is, I don't know, thinking about suicide, or maybe yourself, maybe you want to call this number, only 3 digits, it's 988. That's the number to call. Now, you can either call them directly or you can chat. You could do one or the other. You could text it or you can call it and you can talk to someone. Also, speaking of chat, you have a chat service too, which is 988lifeline.org. 988lifeline.org. I'm pretty sure there's a chat room. You can talk to professionals and you can talk to other people who may be in the same situation as you. So we want to, all month long, we're going to give you that information and just reminding you all month long about that. Can't make this up. You know what day it is? Today it is nationally. It's National Chocolate Milkshake Day. Can't make it up. You can't make it up. I don't know why, but they set aside this month as if you couldn't drink chocolate milk every day or whatever, you know, but there it is. So if you haven't had your chocolate milkshake day, you got it now. And maybe you're enjoying it now. Who knows? along with your coffee, right? So that's what we got going. Anyway, just in case you're just watching us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. We're going to be with you for the rest of the hour. And those of you who want to enjoy in conversation, and we hope that you get a chance to do that because we would like to acknowledge you personally. Please give us your weather forecast. Let us know what's happening in your area as far as your weather is concerned. We would like to know that. And I guess the reason why we like to know that is because I want to compare notes on what your weather is like compared to mine. And and if your weather is good, that's good. That's a plus. Now, you people who live in New York, in the vicinity of New York, don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about the weather. Okay. Don't worry about it at all because I'm going to take care of the local New York weather for you. So you dodged both. But for the rest of you, if you want to join in conversation, give us your weather forecast. Mary, I don't think you have to give us one. Warren, what do you got in your area? Warren, by the way, is from Greensville, North Carolina. So hopefully he'll give us something. That's something that you don't have to do. It's not mandatory that you have to do that, but it's something that we ask you to do from time to time, and that's about it. So until we get your weather forecast, I'm going to give you mine right now. Today, well, it's not going to be a bad weekend. It's not going to be a bad weekend weather-wise. As a matter of fact, it's going to be it's tolerable. 71 degrees is what we have right now in New York City. And this is what our weather forecast looks like right now for the time being. Today, it's going to be cloudy skies early, and it's going to be followed by partial clearing. And we'll have a high around 79 degrees. Winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour for tonight. We've got a few clouds on the horizon. It's going to be a low around 66 degrees. No rain in the forecast. Winds light and variable. For Saturday, of course, that's my favorite day of the weekend. Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy, high 79 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And Saturday night, you can still leave the umbrella home because it's going to be partly cloudy with a low around 65 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the outlook for Sunday as you wrap up the weekend. And they say Sunday is the day of rest. So is Saturday. Saturday is a Sabbath day, and Sunday is a Sabbath day. Okay. And for Sunday, it's going to be sunshine and clouds together. We'll have a high around 82 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And repeating our current temperature out there, we've got 71 degrees. And right now it's cloudy, but as I said, it's going to clear up and it's going to look good. And speaking of looking good, there's a handsome guy waiting for you. And I can't wait for you to meet him. As a matter of fact, he's going to deliver the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. It's Brian Camp, and there he is. And welcome, Brian. Welcome back.
Well, welcome. Hello to everybody out there. I hope all is well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you may be around the globe. It is, but I'm coming from live from Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's 72 degrees, going up to 82. Pleasant day on a fall day here in the Queen City of Charlotte. Hope all is well with everybody else. Got a
You
lot to
see,
talk about.
you
Hmm?
see everybody out there.
No, because I'm working with a single device, so I can't really
Oh,
say. I know Warren is out there. Hello, Warren, and
yeah.
hello to Mary as well, and to whoever's out there that I miss. Hello to you all too. So, uh, not going to be long, but I am going to be strong today. Okay, I'll say that. Got a lot to talk about, so I'm not going to kill the whole show and everything. First, we're going to start in the NFL. Well, I'm not gonna go on a rant. I'm not gonna go cussing or anything like that. I'm not gonna say flipper, flopper, flopper, whatever you want to use. But I am really disgusted with the NFL right now. Jalen Carter will not miss any future games for spitting on Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott because he was ejected from last week's season opener without participating in a single play. So that's his suspension? I don't think so. It should not be that way. Now, the league would consider the time already served a 1 game suspension because he did not play. Now, Carter will forfeit his week's 1 day salary of $57,222. He doesn't get that. I think he should get a 2 game suspension or a 3 game suspension. He'll probably appeal it and they'll cut it down. But for him not to miss any games, that is just absurd and is ridiculous. You don't spit on nobody. That's very nasty, very nasty. Now, in the NBA, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame announced members of the class of 2025. Former NBA stars that is, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard, they were on the 2008 U.S. Olympic team, men's basketball team, who also, who won the gold medal for us, of course. Also selected for the enshrinement is WNBA former stars Sue Bird, Maya Moore, and Sylvia Fowles. Now, also NBA NCAA coach Billy Donovan, Miami Heat GM Mickey Arison, and longtime NBA referee Danny Crawford. Danny Crawford, yes, who was a very well-known referee, is also inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we say congratulations to all of these here fine players, men and women, who serve in their respected leagues, to be enshrined in the NBA. The NBA covers women's and men's basketball, um, things that they have accomplished and records and playing ball, and that's not only on the court, is what they do off the court as well. Major League Baseball is heating up. Oh yes, my San Francisco Giants, they're back. They're only a game and a half behind the last wild card of the New York Mets. I got a lot of haters out there with the Mets. Oh, most of them are in Queens and everything because that's where they're at. Well, they're only a game and a half behind them. Now, the Giants got to play a big 3 game series with those Dodgers. I know the Dodgers would love to stick it to us, but you know what? We're ready. We're ready, and we're going to come back fighting. The Giants are geared up. So I'll be watching that 3 game series this weekend, but you got to win, Giants. Because the Mets are not playing well, and sooner or later, the Mets are going to wake up. So not only my team, but there's other teams. You got to check your standings. You got to check your local listings. The Reds. I know in the American League, the Yankees came back and after getting slapped around, the first 2 games of a 3 game series, they came back and woke up and beat the Tigers. So they're in the hunt. This is baseball time. This is coming into the dog days of September, going into October, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So just tune in. So let me say this: in this day in sports, on the 12th day of September, New York Yankees shortstop Roger Peckinpah, 23 years old, became the youngest manager in history. 1976, Minnie Minoso, 52. We spoke about him last night. 52 singles, had a base hit in the second inning. His first hit after 12-year retirement. 52. That means he retired at the age of 40, came back 12 years later out of retirement and hit a base hit. Incredible. 1979, Carl Yastrzemski gets his 3,000 hit off of New York Yankee pitcher Jim Beatty. 1979, Indiana Pacers cut Ann Myers, who was the first woman on an NBA club. 1984, Dwight Gooden sets a rookie strikeout record at 251. 1987, Vince Coleman, steals his 100th base for the 3rd consecutive year. Birthdays today. Happy birthday, 1913, to the late Jesse Owens, 4-time Olympic gold medal, was born in Oakville, Alabama. 1940, Mickey Lolich, Major League Baseball for the Detroit Tigers, was born in Portland, Oregon. Happy birthday, 1958, to Wilfredo Benitez, former Puerto Rican boxer who was the youngest to ever win a championship. And he was 17 years old and 176 days, born in New York City, New York. And happy birthday, 1989, to Andrew Luck, NFL quarterback for the Colts, born in Washington, D.C. I want to talk about I don't like to mix sports with events and politics. Sports is the number one cure for things that occur. But right now, we're living in a time of trouble. We're living in a time of hatred, time of where politics just take over. First, I want to say to the people, the victims of 9/11. Yesterday was the anniversary, 24 years. Um, that still is in our hearts. But I still want to say, let's not forget about December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor. Now, I've been blessed, truly blessed, to visit both sites in Hawaii and in New York City. And each one of these places holds a special place in my heart. It's an eerie feeling, especially in Hawaii, where you can actually see oil still seeping out of the the, the ships when they were attacked. Pearl Harbor, we lost 2,403 people, Americans. 9/11, we lost 2,977. Here we are on this nation of 249 years of independence, and we're still fighting one another within our country. It's different if we're fighting somebody else, but 2 times we've been attacked on our own soil, and we still can't get it together. We're fighting a civil war still. There's so much hatred. June 12th, 1963, Medgar Evans assassinated in front of his driveway. September 15th, 1963, same year, 4 little girls, 16th Street Baptist Church, bombed by the Ku Klux Klan. And that finished that same year. November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy assassinated. 1965, February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X assassinated in New York City. April 4th, 1968. I remember that one. We was told to leave school early. April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated. 2 months later, June 6th, 1968, Robert F. Kennedy assassinated. Are we living today of what we relived back in the 60s? I know some of us have different views about um, the gentleman who just got assassinated. What's his last name? Charlie, what's his last name? I forget his last name. Just like that. It's a blank. But whether you're a Republican or a Democrat,
Church,
what is it again?
church,
Yes.
church.
Why are we still dealing with fighting in our own country? We can't get along. Republicans, Democrats, independents. That's why I hold no loyalty to no political party, because you really don't care about the American people. You don't care about the race, and let's be honest, this is a this is a racist country. And no, I'm not leaving. My ancestors helped build this country. Why can't we just get along? That's sports. That's politics.
Some of sports. And speaking of sports, a question I always want to ask you, I never did. What is it that you have against the Dodgers? What is it that knocks you out about that?
They are worst rivals. But I
Is it
will wear a Jackie Robinson.
is it because they left Brooklyn
No,
to go to Los
they
Angeles?
they are worst enemies. They are arch rivals. We don't like the Dodgers, and they don't like us. Don't you know the history of Juan Marichal swinging a baseball bat? So remember we had
Yeah.
back in 1965, I believe it was,
Mhm.
maybe 64. I'm not quite sure of the exact year. So
Yeah.
we don't like the Dodgers. No. Oh, bad
I,
taste.
I don't know too much history rivalry between the Dodgers and the Giants, but I'm wondering if that event with Juan Marichal and Johnny Goldsboro triggered it off. I'm not sure.
It just escalated. It was the rivalry was before that.
Okay, I didn't know. I know we
They
had the
used to both be in New York.
yeah. Well, I know the rivalry between the Yankees and Boston. That was since the beginning of time, you know. And
No,
I think
yeah,
that might have had something to do with Babe Ruth. I don't know because when Babe Ruth,
the
left,
curse,
yeah, it's the curse of the Bambino.
the
And
Bambino.
when he went to the Yankees, Bambino, by the way, that's an Italian phrase by for baby. Just in case no one knows what
Yeah.
Bambino means, that's an Italian called baby.
Now
Uh,
listen, I will wear a Jackie Robinson jersey, which I have and I own, and I
mm-hmm,
do that for civil rights reason.
mm-hmm.
Okay, he was on the front line of civil rights. So if it wasn't for Jackie Robinson and guys like him and Kurt Flood, I'll talk about Kurt Flood another time. If it wasn't for Jackie Robinson, would there be a Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr.? I can go on and on. Or Roberto Clemente. So I salute Jackie Robinson. I salute his wife, who is still alive, who is still with us. So I salute Jackie Robinson. I'm sorry he is with that he played for the Dodgers. He got traded to the Giants, but refused to go. He said, "I'd rather retire," and that's what he did. Now I could have not, I could have just been angry about that, but the sacrifice what he did back to the civil rights movement that he made, he was on the front line. I salute you, Mr. Robinson. May you continue to rest in peace.
Yeah. Uh, he speaking of Jackie Robinson, it's worth talking about that. If you ever get to New York, go to the Jackie Robinson Museum. I was there.
Absolutely.
I was there once, but but it's a museum where you just can't visit once. You have to visit over and twice and three times because there's so many things, so many activities that you can't consume in one day in that museum. But there's a lot of history, a lot of its memorabilia was showcased there, and you should go see it. Check it out. It's on Varick Street.
Absolutely.
I can't remember the exact address on Varick Street, but you can go online and check it out. So if you're ever
Look
in
it
New
up.
York,
That's right. Yep.
check it out and go there. And I kid you not, I wouldn't steer you wrong. It's
Yeah.
it's a I've had people tell me I went there like 5 times. I had people tell me that, you know,
Hmm.
do that. Since you mentioned Jackie Robinson, it was worth talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been called a hypocrite. You're a Giants fan. Yes, call me a hypocrite, but I do not forget what this man has done for baseball and for what he's done for humanity.
Yeah.
I separate the difference.
Well, the way I see it, I see people like Jackie Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Sammy Davis Jr., people like that who went back a long way, got their uniforms dirty, so the rest of us don't have to.
That's
That's the way
right.
I do that.
That's right. That's right.
And so
Absolutely.
you have to and as far as trying to get rid of history like that, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't care what they do in what is in Florida. They try to take down the books that they don't think it's make any sense, or they don't think that it's relevant. It's not going to happen, because as long as people who've been around a long time have the knowledge of that, they're going to keep it going. And if they don't keep it going one way, they're going to write books. More books are going to come out. So I don't understand why people want to take down books of history that they went back a long way. Why would people want to do that?
That's right. Yeah. You're right.
You got to remember
Doesn't
who you got to remember who built that White House and the Washington Monument and the Capitol building.
there
You
you
got to
go.
remember who discovered the traffic light.
There you go. That's right.
Otherwise, because back before the traffic light, they had cops on the street switching those signs off.
That's right. That's right. And they changed them when they felt like changing them.
Yep, that's right. Nowadays, you have to wait. You have to wait for the light to change. You know.
Yep. That's right.
Hey, we got sports history, we got regular history, and we did it all in one show.
I have to say this to the audience. I'm not apologizing for what I speak on. Sometimes you have to cross over from sports into the real world and everything. I know you probably would do that as well too, but sometimes it blends in and everything. And
Yeah.
I was watching the Yankee game, and that man that lives in the White House was there, and
I mean, the outhouse.
they applauded him. Yeah, they applauded him, and some of them, you heard a couple of boos and everything. But you got to respect the seat of the presidency
Yeah.
of the United States of America. That goes for anybody that holds that title. Um, you know, they didn't like Obama. They didn't like Bush. They didn't like Clinton and FDR. They didn't like Lincoln for what he did to change the whole dynamic of slavery. And this is where we are today, and the reconstruction of these Democratic Republican parties, Jim Crow laws. But we are today, the United States of America. That's the word, United States of America. Let's act like that we're united because of our forefathers who built this country.
All right. You want to do next week's show by yourself?
No, 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 no. I
Because
like I like my spot.
you're doing a good job.
I know, but I know you got movies and takes like that. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to my class. Enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna watch some Netflix, a little college football, because the college football games are it's 20 and a half favorite, 28 points favorite. I don't want something. I'll find a game that'd be close enough. I'll tune in, and don't forget NFL football. You all have a nice weekend, Mary, Warren, and everybody else who's watching. I wish you well, but most of all, be safe. Love
Okay,
you all.
have a good weekend. It's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports and history. I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. It's sometimes things have to be said. Some people say things or think things, and the rest of us have to say it out loud. So I appreciate it. And I didn't look at it as stepping over or anything like that. It gave me a chance to breathe a little bit. To sip a little coffee, but there it goes. Okay, and just in case you just watching us or just started coming in, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're with you each week at this time, and we bring you information such as this, and sports information, and a whole lot of fun. And that's what we do each week. And we hope that you can be part of us each week. In case you're just joining us for the first time, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel to get your information, to know more about us. And of course, there are a lot of back programs that you could watch too. We have a lot of them back there. When you go into the YouTube channel, there are a lot of back programs there. So please get familiar with that. Okay. Rick Davies, the lead singer and co-founder of British band Supertramp, has died after a long battle with cancer. Davies, who wrote the band's music with Roger Hodgson, was the voice and pianist behind Supertramp's most iconic songs, leaving the indelible mark on rock music history. He died Saturday after battling multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer, for more than a decade. He was 81. Polly Holiday, the actress who became beloved for her iconic "Kiss My Grits" catchphrase as Flo, as the waitress on Alice, has died. Holiday died on Tuesday in her Manhattan home, New York City, and she got her start on stage and all over town on Broadway, which later led her to playing a secretary on All the President's Men in 1976. But her breakout role came 4 years later on the small screen when she was cast as the funny, outspoken waitress Flo on the groundbreaking CBS sitcom Alice. She was 88. Ramsey Lewis, a jazz pianist who unexpectedly became a pop star when his recording of the In Crowd reached top 10 in 1965, and who remained musically active for more than a half a century after he died on Monday at his home in Chicago, Illinois. Cause of death was not revealed. There was none. He was 87. U.S. entertainment giant Walt Disney signed an agreement with Spanish media group Artris Media to integrate its contents into streaming platform Disney Plus. Starting this month, Disney Plus customers in Spain will be able to watch popular Money Heist Grand Hotel under the label of Artris Media. The agreement grants Disney Plus co-executive rights to a wide range of Astra Media productions, expanding its Spanish-made content catalog. It was a night to remember for Mariah Carey at the 2025 MTV VMS on Sunday. The R&B superstar revealed, or she received, a video Vanguard Award, which was presented to her by Ariana Grande shortly after she won her first Moon Person Best R&B for her Type Dangerous music video. The five-time Grammy Award winner also performed medleys of her hits over the years, including Sugar Sweet, Fantasy, Honey, Heartbreaker, and Obsessed. The Creative Arts Emmys Award of 2025 Outstanding Host of Game Shows goes to Jimmy Kimmel. The host won the award at the 76 Creative Arts Emmys for hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on Sunday. In his acceptance speech, Kimmel acknowledged the series' original host, Regis Philbin, and recalled his first hosting gig on Win Ben Stein's Money, which he hosted from 1997 to 2000. The Conjury last rites scared up a startling $83 million in domestic box office last Wednesday. Well, that's last weekend, making it the biggest horror premiere of 2025 so far. The year's other big fright fest still hold on their own trophies at 4 consecutive weeks atop the box office. Zach Kreger's Suburban Nightmare Weapons is the year's largest running chart topper, and at the $278.5 million, Ryan Coogler's Vampire threw down Sinners. and they boast the highest domestic gross. But with the domestic premier figure like that in global history, figures that they'll be reaching as high as $185 million in thrilling conclusion to the sprawling Conjuring universe, may be coming for that same crown too. Birthdays today: singer, TV host Jennifer Hudson is 44 years old today. Singer Barry White, the late Barry White, would have been 81. Actress Linda Gray of Dallas is 85. The late country singer George Jones would have been 94, and the late news anchor Frank McGee would have been 104 years old. So happy birthday to all who are with us, still live and living. And we wish you a happy birthday and many, many more while you're here. Enjoy it. And for those of you who are not around, but you left us a legacy, and we continue to acknowledge you each year when your birthday comes around. So happy birthday. And if you're celebrating a birthday, maybe you're celebrating one today, maybe tomorrow, next week, whatever it is, let us know right now if you're here, and we'll say happy birthday to you. Other than that, you can contact us and give us the birthday information, and we will certainly pass it on to everyone. Wish you a happy birthday. You can do that by using our email address and our telephone number. And let me give you the email address again. First, the email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Remember, always use it. You can use it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And don't forget to keep all the information I just gave you into all of your devices. If you own more than one electronic device, such as your computer, which could be laptop, could be desktop, maybe your tablet or your telephone, which you carry all the time anyway, man, make sure it's in all your devices. Just in case you may not have one handy, you'll have the other, and you can use it anytime you want. Okay. So all you have to do is just be proactive. Again, let me give you that email address. Frank Allan. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. On this day, yesterday, not only did we acknowledge 9/11, that's a historical day, but on that same particular day was a special day for me. And I'll tell you why. Because back in the early 50s, when I was growing up, I always wanted to do what I wanted to do, including this. And I managed to do it. And my inspiration was a guy by the name of Allan Freed, who came out of Cleveland, Ohio, into New York City, worked at WINS Radio here in New York City. And he had a TV show called The Big Beat. And he was my inspiration, which is one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to go into radio, because I was so inspired by this man, Allan Freed. And I did get a chance to do it after growing up, looking into it. I decided I wanted to do it. And so it gives me great pleasure to tell you that I am now celebrating my 55th anniversary in broadcasting. And what a ride it's been, and it's still a great ride. And I started off at a station called WWRL in New York, because when I reached college in 1969, I found out that WWRL had a youth congress, which the young people used to join, and we used to go there after school and clown around and, just bond together. They had a radio show, and the guy by the name of Wayne Johnson, who hosted that show, came up to me and gave me the opportunity and told me that he doesn't want to do the show anymore. He works here, but he has other things to tend to, but he still wants to stay close to the Congress, take charge of the Congress. And he asked me if I wanted to do the show. And I said, sure. And so he said, well, you host one show. If it works out, we'll see what happens. And it did. And that's how I got that. And then in college, the following year, 1970, I got big start from being at the college radio station, WCCR 640 AM. And a lot of you who go to City College in New York, you know that station. I used to be there before you were born, probably. And that's how I got started. That was my big break right there. And being at WCCR gave me a lot of opportunities too, because we were in cahoots with other stations, major stations like CBS AM, WPAT, and WORXLO back in those days. And my voice was on all of those stations. We had an opportunity to do shows on that station. And then I went to Youth in Action Radio, which was done on WNYE FM in Brooklyn, New York, which is owned by the Board of Education back then. I went to a station called WBNX, co-hosting a show there. And then it was WRLB in Long Branch, New Jersey, where I did my disco show. And then WOND in Pleasantville, New Jersey, WHBI in New York. And I used to do a night show over there, still playing disco music. And then I went to a station called Skyline Jazz, which we played the updated version of jazz, not the classical jazz, but and then I did that for a while. And WNWK, which used to be WHBI. I was an engineer and an announcer there and did production as well. And then I went to WHCR, Harlem Community Radio in New York City. I became the program director and the Monday through Friday morning jock from 6 to 10 called Jazz in the Morning. And WNYC, I went there. I was an engineer and did production as well. At WOR Radio, I was an engineer and a producer. At let's see, I was at ESPN, the sports channel. I was there for a while. At WFME, a news anchor over there at WFME. And then I went back to WWRL. I was a engineer and then I became a staff announcer over there. And WNYE, I was working in the radio and TV area. And so that was pretty fun. And then between WWRL and WNYE, I opened up Frank Allen Productions and then hosted my own syndicated radio show, an oldie show called Music Beat, which I did for about 8 or 9 years before I retired as a disc jockey. And then I came here doing this, and here I am, the Coffee Hour and Talk Back Live. It's been a good ride for me, and 55 years, and I'm still having a good time. And speaking of good times, make sure that your weekend is a good time. I want to add on to some of your movies that you may like. Let's get started right now with those. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner from 1967 with Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn. You can see that on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You have Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. And it's at Saturday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Suddenly, with Frank Sinatra from 1954, along with Sterling Hayden and James Gleason. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 2:15 a.m. Eastern. And Ocean's 11, the original Ocean's 11, with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. You can go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll down and look at the program guide and find that there are other movies that you may like. You could add it to your bucket list of what to watch as well. You could also check out the pay-per-view movies on demand, the free movies on demand. There are a lot of great sporting events and all kinds of children's programming, documentaries, and all of the networks of there. You can see what they're doing. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so let me run this back down to you again. It's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier, Katharine Hepburn, and Spencer Tracy. Key Largo, Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall. Suddenly, Frank Sinatra, Sterling Hayden, and James Gleason. That's Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday, 2:15 Eastern. And then you have Ocean's 11 with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2:15 And if you don't get a chance to watch all of these movies in real time, you could also, if you have your cable box available still, you could also record it and then watch it at your very own convenience. You can do that as well. All right. I want to thank all of you guys who are watching us, Warren, all of you guys who've been with us all of these years. And thank you guys for being with us. It's time for me to go because now my weekend is officially underway and yours is coming up soon as well. We're going to come back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talkback Live. Brian Camp is going to be with me for the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We'll be looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing you then too. And then come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp with Sports, and you and me against the world, all of us together. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and we'll catch you back here soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.